Come set your rule and reign in our hearts again. Increase in us, we pray. Unveil why we're made. Come set our hearts ablaze with hope, like wildfire in our very souls. Holy Spirit, come invade us now. We are your church. We need your power in us.
So my name is Angela Voss, and I work with the Foods Resource Bank, or FRB. FRB really exists to connect U.S. communities with projects primarily agriculturally based, though not necessarily need to be that way, with programs overseas that are working with smallholder farmers and their communities to be able to help them have a livelihood and the dignity of knowing how to feed their families for the long term in a sustainable way. So what we know about hunger in the world is that about 7 out of 10 people that are hungry live in rural communities. And for them, the most sustainable path out of poverty is agricultural development. I think the other overarching thing for FRB is that we really have a heart for farmers. Each of us that eats, and pretty much I think everybody eats 3 times a day if we're lucky, maybe 2 times a day, and every time we eat, we are actively engaged with a farmer somewhere in the world. So we honor farmers, big and small, and we know that farmers here have a heart to do something that can help farmers in other parts of the world also have the dignity of providing for their families through the livelihood of agriculture.
Hi, I'm Carolyn. I'm from Seattle, Washington, and drove out here to Yakima today to be a part of this fabulous event in which growers have donated part of their crop for the year in order to serve growers and farmers in the Central African Republic. And our church is thrilled to be a part of this wonderful ministry and the generosity from Wiley Heights Covenant, as well as growers in the Yakima Valley. We are just in awe of the generosity, and our church is thrilled to think that 100% of proceeds from their 10-pound bags of apples go to support farmers in the Central African Republic. So I really believe it's a win-win for everybody, but all really thanks to the great donations and the great work being done by people here in the Yakima Valley. So it's a joy to be a part of this fabulous ministry and the wonderful ways that God can use it to bless others.
Okay, you want to start?
Sure, we're Luke and Heather. And we're here with our kids, Josiah, Anna, and Eliora. And this is a great kids event. Kids can really get into it and understand that they're helping out.
Yeah, it's great for the kids to be able to do something, not just watch us, write a check or something, but do something themselves. And I spent a good part of my life growing up in Africa, so helping Central African Republic is really close to my heart.
Hi, we're from Paulsbo, Washington, and we're from Alive Covenant Church.
This is Greta. I'm Kristen, and we are here to pack apples, and we also are buying some, and we've sold some with the people at our church, so we're really excited about this. We love the concept. We have 2 kids from Africa, and it is so special that we can give back this way and help them get more resources to learn how to farm in their own community, because food is so expensive there, and this way they can use their resources within their own community. In any way that we can help out, this is a practical way, so we're happy to do it.
Infinity
CIFA, which stands for the Center for Experimentation and Formation in Agriculture, here in the Central African Republic, is basically the vision and dream of Central Africans for wanting to improve their lives. And it's an organization that uses agriculture as a means of trying to raise crops, raise animals, to improve the livelihoods of the people here. But really, CIFA is a commitment on the hearts of the people here to wanting to serve Christ as well as to serve the people and help the people in different areas of this country to raise different kinds of crops and foods. And so here at the center is where we do a lot of experimentation. We plant different kinds of trees and different kinds of crops that come from different parts of the world that will help improve either the yields or the quality of the foods that the people eat here. And there's a chronic malnutrition problem here in this area. And so we work alongside the public health and the hospital here in doing a lot of training and teaching, not just here, but also out in the villages, so that people's lives can be healthier and their hearts can be healthier, because we do a lot of teaching on basic principles of who God is and who Jesus is. And we do reach out to unreached people groups such as the Pygmy or the Bayaka and the Fulani people, which are Muslim people. In 1998 is when I arrived here, and there was no ag program whatsoever in the area. So we created an agroforestry program. And for a little over 10 years we had an agroforestry program of planting fruit trees, all different kinds from around the world, as well as beans, vegetables, and these kinds of things. Now, in 2010, that's when we started the CIFA program. And we started building roads and building the borders and this kind of thing. But eventually we got going into the experimentation of different kinds of beans and different kinds of cassava or manioc. And then up till right now, which is into our 4th year, we're starting into all different kinds of things like new varieties of coffee. We're doing turkeys, chickens, different kinds of fish and fish ponds. So we have quite a variety of things that are going on. And out in the villages is where we've got 25 different cooperatives that are learning about all these different things. All right, right now in 2013, in the middle of the year, we're at the point where we're finishing up a lot of construction projects. We've got missionary residences, we've got an ag building, we've got a garage, and we've got a new dormitory that we'd like to get going so that students or people that are interested, not just locally but from around the world, they can come and they can learn and take back to their home new knowledge and new species of plants or even animals. And like right now here, we're laying out the plan for planting a new variety of coffee that comes from Hawaii, but we're also experimenting with different kinds of cover crops, different kinds of vines that grow on the ground and produce a lot of good mulch, especially in areas where the soil is rocky or the soil is very poor. We're also planting different kinds of fruit trees such as cinnamon, moringa, and different kinds of fruit trees that will help produce food, but at the same time produce some type of income so that CIFA can move into the future.
Food. It's an integral part of our lives. It provides nourishment for our physical and social well-being. Around the world, great work goes into farming, harvesting, and preparing food for our growing population. But for about 1 billion people in the world, a terrible paradox exists.
Because of social, economic, and environmental changes, many of the people growing the world's food struggled with hunger the most. These farmers lack basic training, access to markets, tools, and seeds, which have an enormous impact on their yields and success. Their success is the key to changing the face of world hunger. Foods Resource Bank is a humanitarian organization dedicated to ending hunger. Through their sustainable model, Foods Resource Bank has managed to raise significant funding, build a network of support, and empower smallholder farmers to solve their problems using local solutions.
Working with 15 member organizations and their in-country partners, Foods Resource Bank provides people with the appropriate education, tools, and support to become more successful farmers. So, how does Foods Resource Bank fund their overseas programs?
Through the help of growing projects across the United States, Foods Resource Bank engages communities, congregations, and individuals to participate in a fundraising model called a growing project. People involved in a growing project volunteer their time and resources to raise crops and livestock.
These growing projects can vary in size and shape, from a young boy in Missouri planting pumpkin seeds in his backyard to congregations in Michigan raising chickens, planting corn, and harvesting sugar beets. Every little bit counts. And we at Foods Resource Bank know that it's only through these collective efforts can we really drive progress.
Foods Resource Bank reminds us we're all part of the bigger global family, and when we're connected and determined, no problem is too big to overcome. Join us in our fight to end hunger. We have the tools and process in place to help us achieve this within our generation.
Remember, every little bit counts. Spread the word about Foods Resource Bank and the innovative work we're doing to support smallholder agriculture. Share this video with your friends on Facebook and Twitter.
Join our cause and take part in a growing project in your area, or start your own growing project. Join us on our trips to Washington, D.C. to help advocate for the rights of smallholder farmers.
Travel overseas with Foods Resource Bank and experience firsthand how these efforts are helping thousands of families feed themselves and their communities. There are many other ways to help Foods Resource Bank. Just visit our site at foodsresourcebank.org to find out ways you can help.
Foods Resource Bank.
Growing lasting solutions to hunger.